Hey, David Breslow back here with you once again. Welcome. And today I want to talk about some of the language that's used on the golf course to describe some things. In particular, the phrase that's coming to mind is sand trap. Trap. Really? You know, it's interesting to watch golfers who aren't comfortable in the sand, which is a large number of golfers, as they approach the sand, if their ball's hanging out in there, you can see the look on their face. It's always interesting to watch. They were kind of smiling, and as they get closer to the sand trap, it's starting to be more of this, and then they start thinking, and then their brow gets a little more furrowed, and their forehead gets a little more crinkly, and it's like, oh, I'm in the sand trap. I need to get out of this trap. And so we start to look at it like it's in prison, and we're not. Hazard, that's another word that's used on the golf course a lot. And I've had another video, you may have seen it earlier, talking about hazards. But today I want to talk about the sand trap, more specifically, the sand trap. Look at that language. And I've been harping more recently on, and I'm going to repeat this and repeat it and repeat it until it gets in there. Your outside game is a direct reflection of your inside game. Can't get away from it. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you. You can't escape it. Neither can I. Neither can anybody. The reality is, as you start approaching the sand trap, watch out for the words, because even the words are a trap. They're already kind of locking you in a bit of a prison state. I got to get out. I got to get out. Look at the way we think about this. I got to get out. Well, you can lighten yourself up in the sand. Is it really a trap, or is it really a treat? Trap or treat? That's the focus of today's video. So, if you have a ball in the sand, there are many techniques, depending on who you talk to, in terms of how to best hit the ball out of the sand trap, depending on where you are. Are you close to the green? Are you 20 yards away from the green? Which club are you going to use? Are you going to use a sand wedge, or maybe a 9-iron, maybe an 8-iron, or even a 7-iron? Are you going to open it up? Are you going to close it? There's all sorts of opportunities to hit particular shots in the sand trap. And there are particular shots that are more relevant for particular situations than others. So if you want to find that out, that's more of a mechanical issue. What I'm talking to you today here is about the way you approach your shots out of the sand. There is no reason to approach this any different than any other shot that you're hitting on the golf course. You still want to be clear mentally, which means you need to be clear about which club you're going to use and the way you're going to use it. You also want to be emotionally clear. You want to be able to look at this shot as nothing more than another opportunity to express all of your talents fully and freely. In fact, that's the definition I ask players to really think about over every single golf shot. It's an opportunity to express your talents fully and freely. And when you do that, it literally loosens you up. When you think about a sand trap and having to get out and all these other words and phrases that cause you tension and anxiety and a little bit of fear, and then what happens? Because that's happening first inside, outside, you tend to either overswing or underswing. Or you hit too far behind the ball, or you clip the ball and hit it 40 yards over the green. Happens to all of us. Why? Because internally you shifted. Internally you were tight. Internally you were thinking all the wrong things that cause tension and anxiety. So, if you're one of those golfers that thinks thoughts aren't really that important, I would ask you to think about that again, because they are driving the show. And if you're thinking poorly, you cannot be surprised any longer if you produce poor outcomes. And what's going to happen is it'll affect the way you swing your golf club. Even though you may know a lot about the golf swing, it still is going to happen. This has nothing to do with what you know intellectually. This has everything to do with what you're focusing on at the time you're striking the golf ball, or just before it. So if you're in the sand, let's first take a different viewpoint of a shot in the sand. Instead of calling it a sand trap, call it a sand treat or a sand opportunity. And then smile, because that will completely change the way you set up for the golf shot and completely change the way that you move the golf club. Because once your body is calmer and more relaxed, you are going to take a better pass at the ball. It's just that simple. Now, I've often been called, a simple idiot in the golf world, and people say it laughingly, and most people say it lovingly, and it's true. People will often say to me, "Dave, are you kidding me? Are you telling me it's really that simple? I've had trouble with shots in the sand. Are you telling me if I just do what you just said, I can actually hit better sand shots?" Yeah, it is that true. That's why I'm called a simple idiot, because the game of golf is a lot more simple than most people make it. And people will argue with me till the death, trying to convince me that it's the way they see it. And I say, fine, you know, great. So you've proven that it's that way. And you keep looking for ways to change it? Okay, I'm giving it to you right now. It's the way you're approaching it, right at the top, that's causing all this tension and anxiety to happen. It's a lot more simple than you think it is. It's no different than any other shot. Trap or treat. Look at it as a treat. It's a great opportunity for you to hit another good, solid golf shot. So you do everything you always do on all your shots. You get clear mentally, you pick your target area, your landing area on the green, you pick your club, you pick the type of shot you want to hit. None of that changes. You settle yourself in a dress position, no different than any other shot, and you hit the golf ball. It's really that simple. If it's a sand trap, whoa, I'm in a trap. Got to get out. All of a sudden the body tightens up. Can you see how this is happening? I'm sure a good number of you are just kind of nodding your head going, yeah, that's what happens to me. And I'm telling you, it's because of what you're thinking prior to the shot. So please try this. Take it out to the golf course, take it out to the practice range if you get to work on sand shots out there, and watch what happens to you. You will notice a difference in your body, and then you will also notice a difference in your mind, and you will then probably start to notice a difference in your golf swing. And you may be very, very happy with the results you get. Dave Breslow, thank you so much for being with me again. Leave yourself a note. Would love to have a conversation with you about this. And if you have a moment, check me out over at mentalgolfcoaching.com. Talk to you very soon. Take care.